Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and today I'm going to tell you the books that I want to read before the end of the year. So it is currently the 16th of December, so I've got only a couple of weeks until the year is over, so I really hesitate to call this a TBR, because I feel like a TBR is a much more kind of like a project to take on over the course of a month or whatever. And this is quite a short period of time. This doesn't have anything to do with readathons, doesn't have anything to do with like the monthly reading that I want to do or the seasonal reading. They're just the books that I really want to get done for the end of the year for specific reasons. So I have a couple of books here. Two of them are actually review copies, and two of them are books that I bought for myself. The first book that I want to finish by the end of the year is the book that I'm currently reading, so I have a really good chance of being able to do this, but it's one that's been sitting on my TBR for quite a while. I think it came out in November, and I've been sort of reading it very, very slowly, but the time has come for me to actually pick up the pace. This is Empire of Sand. This is by Tasha Suri. You can see that my girl Rin is here as my bookmark, which is very exciting. If you saw my best books of 2018 video, you'll know that The Poppy War was my favorite book. So I've got Rin kind of cheering me on as I read this one as well. Empire of Sand is a fantasy that's inspired by medieval India, which is very exciting because I don't think I've really read anything quite like this before. And it's also a debut novel, which is equally exciting because I love to see the very first thing that an author comes out with. And let me say this is a very, very strong debut so far. Empire of Sand follows a character named Mare, and Mare is a woman who lives a life of privilege. However, it's a very fragile kind of privilege. So she's the daughter of the governor of this city, and she enjoys all of the sort of luxuries that come with that life. However, she is his illegitimate daughter, and on top of that, her mother is one of the Emrithi people, and these people have been sort of shunned by the Empire. They're hunted down. They're kind of a nomadic type people, and they worship a certain kind of magic. Empire doesn't like that. So she's kind of hated within her own household. However, because she's the governor's daughter, people have to kind of respect her, and she lives her life in this particular way. However, she is caught one day performing a particular rite, which draws the wrong kind of attention, shall we say, and her power is kind of discovered. So she is whisked away into a forced marriage and must serve the Empire. And this book is so good so far. I found it a little bit slow to start. It's a very, I'd say it's a very intricate world that you're really thrown into right away, and I felt like I stumbled in a little bit. I didn't kind of catch on quite as smoothly as I do in some books. But once things kind of started moving forward and the story started to come together, I feel like I really fell into this book. So I'm about halfway through. As you may be able to see, I'm on, what, page 228 of 430 something. So I am about halfway through. I'm hoping to have this done soon, but it is a book I would like to have done before the end of the year because this is one of my big, highly anticipated books that was released in 2018. Next is another book that I bought for myself for a very specific kind of reason. I very rarely read contemporary YA. I think I've read 5 contemporary YA books this year so far, but this one caught my eye for a very specific reason. This is Dumplin by Julie Murphy. So you may know that Dumplin has been made into a movie on Netflix, and it is fantastic. I actually watched it last night with my sister and Scottish fiance, and I really, really enjoyed it. Because I saw the trailer, I decided to pick up the book. I really didn't have much of an interest in reading this beforehand, simply because it was contemporary YA, and that just generally tends to not be my thing. However, I was very much caught up in the sort of spirit of the trailer, and it was just looked like so much fun. Dumplin is about a girl named Willadine Dixon, and she lives in Texas. Her mother is the sort of local celebrity who runs the local beauty pageant, and Willadine is a plus-sized girl, so she really feels like she doesn't quite fit in. However, she does have a lot of confidence, and this isn't a story about a girl who like wants to lose weight to change her life, which is very nice. Willadine decides that she's going to enter into the beauty pageant as a sort of form of protest, and the story kind of goes from there. This book is all about self-acceptance and really knowing who you are and owning that. It's about friendship, and it's just, at least the movie was so fun. And one of the things that I loved is that there's so little kind of girl-on-girl catfighting about physical appearance, which was really, really nice. I don't know if that's the case in the book, but that was the case in the film, and I was totally charmed by the movie. I really, really enjoyed it, so I very much want to read this book. I'm going to bring this with me over Christmas because I feel like it's going to be a really fun one to just kind of plunk myself down in front of the fire and just read through it in a single day. The next book that I have on my list is a new release for 2019, so I was sent this by the publisher, and I am very, very excited to read this. I think I hauled this fairly recently. I think I got it in maybe October or November, but I'm so excited to read The Girl King, and this is by Mimi Yu. This book comes out from Galance on the, I think, 11th of January of 2019, and I'm really, really excited to read this because it sounds like it's my exact cup of tea. I talked about this book fairly recently, so I'll just kind of go through this pretty quickly, but this book follows two characters named Lu and Min, and they are the daughters of the emperor. Now, it's always been understood that Lu is going to become the empress. She's going to become the first female ruler of this land. However, their father betrays them and names a male cousin as the heir. So Lu goes on the run, and she's going to raise an army, and she's going to retake her throne. But still in the court, we have Min, and Min has a hidden power that is awakening, and she's watching things happen from the shadows. This sounds really great. Again, it sounds like my exact cup of tea. I'm so excited to read this book. I've heard nothing but great things from very early reviews, and I think that this is going to be such a good one. I think this is a debut novel, but I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be just one of those books, I think, that's going to be a very early smash hit for fantasy YA in the new year. The last book that I have to show you guys is one that I'm very, very excited about because it is the concluding book in a trilogy that I particularly love. Now, I've always been really, really bad at completing series. I just, for whatever reason, until maybe like, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, I just had no interest in actually finishing series. Don't ask me why. I don't know. So this is going to be one of the first series that I actually do get around to finishing, where I absolutely fell in love with the first couple of books, and I would really, really love to know what happens at the end. This is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. The Bear and the Nightingale and The Girl in the Tower are books that I've absolutely loved over the past couple of years. They are just such incredibly atmospheric, wonderfully wintry reads, and I'm very, very excited to complete the trilogy with Winter of the Witch. I have, you may see, started this. I got very stressed out by this book. I'm about 100 pages in, and by like page 22, Catherine Arden basically just punches you in the face, and it's great. I really like that, but I don't recommend this for very stressful times. I was very stressed out when I was reading this, and I read that, and I just I really struggled to move forward. It's fantastic and it's so good, but if you've read The Girl in the Tower, it basically picks up immediately after the events of The Girl in the Tower. Like, no time has passed at all, and the end of The Girl in the Tower is very stressful. So I'm really looking forward to this, but I'm going to read it over Christmas time, when it's a low stress time and I can just sit in front of the fire, as I said, with the dogs and just read. That's going to be really, really great. I'm not going to talk about what this is about because that would be major spoilers for the first two books, but the series follows a girl named Vazia, and she lives in medieval Russia, and it's kind of a combination of fantasy and historical fiction. She's a woman who can kind of see these creatures of Russian folklore, and this is a particularly bad time to be able to do that because Christianity is sweeping across the nation, and she is going to be dubbed a witch. So good. It's so good, but like, my God, this is stressful. So those are the 4 books that I want to finish by the end of the year. There's some high stress stuff in here, but I think that all of these books are going to be amazing. They're going to be really great things to read while I'm at home for the holidays and just have nothing to do except sit and read. It's going to be such a good time. In the comments down below, let me know if you have read any of these books, but also what you plan to read over the holidays, if you're taking any time off, or if you just want to read anything in particular by the end of the year. I would love to hear from you. I post bookish content to this channel fairly frequently, so hit subscribe, check back soon, and I will see you next time.